I'm Matt Andersen, CEO of Westlake Securities and your host for The Intentional Company. Today, we're going to talk about what happens when a company stalls out in growth, and actually how can intentional growth help your organization get over some of the common roadblocks and how to bust through that stagnation. But before I do, real quick, the advanced reader copies are in. I'm very excited to be sharing a few select copies with folks who are close to the firm, who have provided quotes, and those that are in the media. We're really excited. I can't wait for the launch in October 20th. Feel free to check out Amazon now for a pre-order. So let's dive in. The three areas that we tend to see issues when growth stagnates and we sub-optimize opportunities are this. Number one is a lack of a clear destination over time and desired financial outcome. That is the number one demotivator that we see across organizations, because what it creates is this ho-hum daily mentality or an annual budgeting process that doesn't take into consideration any sort of longer term or midterm excitement around goals and destination planning. And all it looks at is simply, what do we think we can sell next year? Where do we need to be operating? And so number one is that lack of kind of timeline and destination or financial outcome. Number two is going to be the doing too much at once and unfortunately finding failure across several different initiatives. What ultimately that creates in an organization is a disbelief or a lack of self-confidence from an organizational perspective that we can take new initiatives, that we can drive growth, that we can achieve. And what happens is just a little bit of a stagnation in terms of thought process and almost a little bit of fear, if you will, or a lack of self-confidence that we can take up individual initiatives, well planned, and put action behind them and actually achieve results. And so that's something that we need to tackle. Number three is mistaking busyness for achieving strategic objectives. And we see this a lot where we've got a lot of business going on over marketing. We've got a lot of busyness going over in operations. We've got a lot of busyness going on in sales, but it's not cohesive and moving the organization towards its ultimate kind of destination. So understanding where the operational efforts are relative to the strategic objectives is really important. The book can help you with all three of these. Number one, we spend a lot of time on reverse engineering and really mapping out timeline and financial expectations for an organization that will give you that medium to long-term planning North Star that will be truly exciting to build your annual, quarterly, monthly plans around. Number two, when it comes to organizational fatigue from past failed projects, we really break down how to map out projects so that they can succeed. And there's tools at the ends of various chapters that can help you do that. And it's really important that when we're looking for a large growth plan, that we don't take on too much and create organizational losses which lead to fatigue. We want to create organizational wins because ultimately we are all motivated. The more we win, the more we like to play the game. And so part of this is just basic human nature that we want to create areas where we can win. And the book can help you map out different projects to create growth and success, and to do that in a way where you can have organizational wins, which lead to more organizational wins. And then last but not least is the alignment of core functions. And we think that's super important because we want people to be busy. We want people to have lots of action activity, but we want them to tie into where we're going from an overall destination perspective. And so by mapping out that busyness and plotting it accordingly and arranging it in a way that supports the organizational objectives, you can achieve much better outcomes and more purpose from the actual busyness that goes on a day-to-day basis. And so those are some areas that we see organizations stall. Those are some opportunities to change course and make tomorrow different from today. And there's some helpful tools, tactics, strategies, and downloadable forms in the book that will really help you unlock more of those opportunities for creating organizational change and kind of busting through that bottleneck of stagnation if your organization is currently stuck in a status quo. From a next steps perspective, I would encourage you to check out Intentional Growth. Go ahead and pre-order. And as the book comes out, we're going to re-explore this topic, and I'm going to point to some specific examples and sections of the book that will be helpful in taking your organization from potentially being stagnated or too much status quo to unlocking what could be massive and unbelievable growth and opportunity for both you, your organization, and key stakeholders. So if you appreciated this episode, please feel free to like and subscribe, share the video with a person who may benefit. And until next time, let's grow.